Okay. Let's do it.
Legs don't fall asleep. They're feeling a little bit.
Keep changing them.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. I'm starting to feel it. Okay, where are we? We are on March 22nd of the Daily Stoic. And
22nd, okay.
what we will be learning about today, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, is the sign of true education.
Sign of true education. Okay.
Let's do it. Epictetus. What is it then to be properly educated? Is it learning to apply our natural preconceptions to the right things according to nature? And beyond that, let me start this again. Pardon me, everyone. I started reading it like it was a question mark, but it's really a statement, okay? This is also complicated, so
let's do it again.
Back it up. Epictetus. What is it then to be properly educated? It is learning to apply our natural preconceptions to the right things according to nature. And beyond that, to separate the things that lie within our power from those that don't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that there are two things we need to do to be properly educated. Learn to apply our natural preconceptions to the right things according to nature. I think what he's saying there is like our way of seeing things, like apply the right way of seeing things. Like natural preconceptions, that makes me think of like a belief that I have or something like that, a viewpoint, or I think it's like this. I think reality is like this. Like that's what, I don't know if that's what he means, but that's what I think. Okay, right. So he's saying like apply your beliefs to the right things according to nature. So like study nature, see what she's serving up, and then take your beliefs and apply them correctly to the right things. Like it's like a matching game or something like that. So like see things clearly for what they are is how I'm understanding this. And I'm like 75% confident.
Yeah. Or also like take things from nature and apply them to your thinking. There could be also something in there like that. Right?
Interesting.
Let's see what Ryan has to say.
Okay, well, before we do that, then the second thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
But the second thing is easy. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, to separate the things that lie within our power from those that don't. So like see things clearly for what they are, and then see what you have control over and what you don't have control over.
Yeah.
That's what it is to be an educated person.
Yeah. And that's the same message from this
whole
past
time
week or whatever.
This whole I think because
March
March
is really
is about awareness. I feel like it's kind of all percolating.
Yeah, each month is on a different
a different theme.
Okay, perfect.
And do you want to know what April's is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. April's is unbiased thought.
Unbiased thought. Okay, cool.
Maybe unbiased thought is learning to apply our natural preconceptions to the right things according to nature.
Very good. Random. Or maybe not.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Maybe perfectly timed.
Okay, Ryan. Ryan has things to say, and here they are. A degree on a wall means you're educated as much as shoes on your feet mean you're walking. It's a start, but hardly sufficient. Otherwise, how could so many educated people make unreasonable decisions or miss so many obvious things? Partly, it's because they forget that they ought to focus only on that which lies within their power to control. A surviving fragment from the philosopher Heraclitus expresses that reality. Many who have learned from Hesiod the countless names of gods and monsters, never understand that night and day are one. Just as you can walk plenty well without shoes, you don't need to step into a classroom to understand the basic fundamental reality of nature and of our proper role in it. Begin with awareness and reflection, not just once, but every single second of every single day. I'm gonna underline the sentence in here. This is like really boiling down for me to the sentence. They forget that they ought to focus only on that which lies within their power to control.
So like how he's essentially saying, how come all these educated people
Are big dum-dums.
are making all these mistakes,
Stupid decisions, yeah.
and then that's because they think that they have control over things that they don't, and vice
Yeah.
versa, and probably vice versa, because they probably are not doing what they do have control
Yes.
over. They are not.
They're
doing that.
flip-flopped.
Flip-flopped.
Because it's
Yeah.
like you can either be pregnant or not pregnant. So like you can either focus on something you can control or something you can't control. And in every moment there is something I can control. So if I'm
Mhm.
focusing on something I can't control, then like I can't be pregnant and not pregnant at the same time.
Right. You can only think of of it one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so if you're thinking I can't, well then you
I'm-
cannot think of then yes I can.
Of what
Yeah.
component of the situation. Like in any moment there's components of the situation I have control over, how I'm looking at it. Am I seeing it clearly? Have I learned to apply my natural preconceptions to the right things according to nature? Like that's maybe also what that is. It's like reality's coming in. Am I seeing it clearly?
Mm.
Am I talking to myself in my head clearly? Now when I go to say it out loud, that's a choice. Like that's a power that I have.
That's interesting. When you just said nature, I saw nature in like a totally different picture. Like nature, I'm thinking of like green forests and like animals and stuff, like nature, right? Like
Mhm.
that's what I'm imagining. Or like the processes in nature, but that's all what this is describing is also nature, like how we focusing on that which we have control over and not focusing less on the things we do not have control over is nature.
Is nature in the sense of like it's something that's happening, it's like part of reality.
Yeah, and if you do it that way, you get better outcomes. So you aligning yourself with how nature works better, and nature works better when you are focusing on the things that you have control over, and when you are kind of observing the things you don't have control over from a little further distance. You're not getting so involved in them. You're getting more involved in the ones you do have control over. And this, what I'm describing, is a natural system that exists. So we are aligning ourselves with this natural system, and therefore, if we are aligned with it, we discover we have more positive outcomes. Outcomes that we want. We say, wow, this actually worked out better than I normally would have if I didn't, let's say, if I was focusing on all this stuff that I cannot control.
Yeah.
So like I saw when you said the nature, I was like, wow, that's also nature. That system of how that works.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah, an action item is really just like keep noticing this, And maybe during those meditations is maybe it's hard to do it throughout the day, but it might just happen throughout the day. You like might notice it or something, but like the meditation segment is the practice time to do this, to say, well, what can I control and what can I not control? Let me sit with this in quiet.
Yeah. I also like to do it in situations.
Of course, yeah. Throughout the day, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying sometimes it's like it feels like you don't have much control over it throughout the day when you're at work and there's just stuff coming up and you're super busy, right? It's like hard to notice those things in the midst of craziness, and especially when you have not practiced noticing it for some time. But that's okay. It's part of it. It's part of it is to know that I'm doing something that could be done differently, and I continue to do it wrongly, or not so ideally. Let's say,
Sure. Yeah. If you want to look at kind of recon past stuff or something like that. Yeah. I mean, good. I like that it's basically giving me two tasks. If I want to pursue my education, is that the first part is see things clearly for what they are, which is really difficult to do. Maybe impossible. But I guess always know that however I'm looking at things is to some degree wrong.
Or potentially not wrong, or not completed. You don't have the complete image.
Because we've been talking about assumptions the other day.
It will only be wrong if you say that is how it is.
Yeah,
right.
That's what keeps me from thinking that that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what keeps me from being certain about it.
Mm-hmm.
So continue doing that, like always questioning what to me seems like reality, but it's not. It's my interpretation of reality. That is one element of being an educated person. And then my other element of being an educated person is getting crystal clear on the things within my control and not within my control. And like a toggle switch where I can't be pregnant and not pregnant at the same time, to really laser focus in on the things that are within my control. Because that is, to what you're saying, it's like part of this natural system that when you behave like this, that's when you get the right output from the system, the right output being better results in your life, better outcomes in your life, no matter what challenges you're going through. Life could be throwing a freaking book at you, but if you are approaching it through that of like, how can I see this more clearly and how can I focus on the things within my control, you will be able to navigate that situation to like the best possible outcome that situation could present as.
Right. Don't judge the outcome, right? Because the outcome could be perceived as not so good.
The outcome could still be something you don't want.
You don't want, right.
But it's it's less of what you don't want than what it could be if you just are like, hey, whatever, I'm educated because I got my MBA or whatever it is, and you don't focus on this kind of stuff. So I really like that today. This one's cool.
Yeah, good deal.
Most days are cool. Once you get to the understanding
They
of
always start so ambiguous,
mysterious,
and like, what is this all going to be about? But anything else?
No.
Good? Okay.
Yeah, they always start like, what are you talking about?